Alright, welcome to Minnesota. So, it's been an interesting journey down from Bismarck. The prairie's gotten less and less of a role. We started seeing more and more lakes, and now it's like, well, right now you can see there's kind of this very hummocky. There's a pond. Minnesota is known as the land of 10,000 lakes. We are in the heart of that country, and yes, neighboring North Dakota does also have quite a number of lakes. I want to talk a bit about what's happening here. So, what gives us this lake is that we're also in an area that was covered by the Laurentide ice sheet, and where it overrode mostly soft material. And so it controlled how fast that ice sheet moving was whether or not there was liquid water at the base of the ice, and whether or not the insulation of the ice and the heat coming up from below were compatible with conditions that favored sliding. And in a lot of places, that could change very rapidly. And so you get these little areas, especially as the ice sheet was retreating, where the ice would just sort of stagnate. These would remain a little thicker, a little longer, but and you get these stagnant masses of ice, sometimes a couple miles across, sometimes not much bigger than a RV. Depending on the size, and also depending on how much sediment was coming out the front of the ice sheet, these masses of ice would get buried in sediment that was still being transported by the water system of the ice sheet further upstream. And these sediments would settle around there, then the ice, but everywhere there wasn't ice, the ice would melt, and that would create a little hole called a kettle. And so most of what we're looking at here are little kettle lakes and kettle ponds, surrounded by various bits of glacial drift. Oh, there's one right there. And it's kind of neat. Other things I want to point out is getting greener and greener. North Dakota had very sparse, thin trees that looked like they're adapted to cold winters and dry climates. Here we're starting to get thicker and thicker forests, and I expect the forest to get thicker as we head east. We've been enjoying absolutely lovely weather today. It's been high in the high 70s with a nice breeze out of the northwest, very dry. I've never experienced this wind quite this much, but I think I see why people are drawn to this part of the country, especially this time of year. Though I would shudder to think what that wind is like in January, because, yeah, all right.